morning, everyone. Thanks for having me. My name's Derek Bussey. I am with Cooper Lighting, been here for more than a few years now, and I am the market segment manager for all of lighting and controls all across Canada. And I'm coming to you today from Mississauga. And we're going to talk about this new HCD Direct Mount Pro system. I titled it, You Can Have It All in Commercial Downlighting, right? So what if I told you you can have, would you believe me, right? Would you think that you can? Because up till now, it hasn't been possible. Lots of promises, nothing's come through. Are you ready for your reality to be altered? Okay, so the base system, it is a retrofit, remodel, and new construction all in one. It can do all of those things with the base fixture. You can direct mount or canless or without a housing, however you want to call that, or use a mounting frame and it works just like it had a housing. Same thing. The reflectors for this downlight are interchangeable. They come in a 4-inch, 6-inch, 8-inch, like you would expect for all kinds of light commercial products. They're round and square, they're narrow, medium, and wide. All of those are interchangeable with the same base system. There's a field installable wall wash kit. So any reflector can be turned into a wall wash type reflector in the field on site. The lumens can be selectable. Everyone's looking for selectable now. But if you need to have them fixed, we can have them set however you need to have them set. The LED 90 CRI, so you're looking for good quality CRI, and just like the lumens, selectable CCT or fixed CCT. And again, they're going to be in the most common color temperatures that you see in a commercial type environment: 2700, 3000, 3500, 4000, or 5000 K. Need them fixed? We'll set it to one of those. Want them selectable? You can have it all. Comes with adjustable bar hangers, ready to go for grid or wood. What? There's wood in commercial spaces? You bet there is. The nail's built in. It's not some goofy commercial only kind of hanger. It's our standard hanger that we use all over the place. Emergency options does come up. It's available in either a 6-watt or 14-watt, integral or remote. You decide. And then finally, controls, such an important part of what's going on in these spaces. Our wavelengths wireless system is available, built into the system. It gives you full wireless control down to the fixture level, and then group them, zone them, scene them, whatever you need. Basically, it's everything you could possibly need in a commercial downlighting system all in one. At its heart is this base housing module. You have a driver in an enclosure where you can make an electrical connection. A piece of flex brings it out to the heat sink and LED modules that sit in here. And depending on the size, what's going on in the driver and what kind of LEDs and how many will scale up or down. Combine that with the reflector, boom, you have a retrofit or direct mount system. You know, with that direct mount uses mousetrap springs to sit in the ceiling, you're done. If you add a mounting frame to that and install it into the mounting frame, now you have a new construction or T-grid type system. And so it's totally modular. Those base fixture kits, there's not just the basic junction box. That is the most basic, lowest cost way to go. You can add in a quick connect style. So in this spliced box, there are a couple of quick connects. That allows this piece, this tail, to be installed into the infrastructure, the wiring in a building without having the fixture part even on site, right? This requires somebody with a license. The rest of it all just plugs in. Wavelengths wireless is built into the fixture, into the housing, so everything is pre-wired, good to go. Same for both emergencies. Note that everything is pre-wired. All that they have to do on site is connect power and if they want to do dimming. Okay, so mentioned we can have this fixed or selectable. Everybody loves selectable. This is a great product for stock. It's good to be in Market Pro. So of course it has selectability, and we have switches there for both color and for lumen level. As far as lumen level packages go, low lumen levels is something new to us in this space. Again, things like low ceiling heights or energy consumption issues that are coming in, energy codes that have to be adhered to. We have low lumen package levels, kind of have our standard commercial space, 1500, 2000, 2500 are most common flavors, and then higher lumens and very high lumens up to 5000. So if you have a spec, I need it 4000K. I'm chasing ASHRAE. I can only allow for 1000 lumens per fixture in this space. It has to be set. Let us know, specify it that way. We'll set it up in the factory. We'll add in a security torque screw here to lock that into place. No one's just going to accidentally mess around with your design and undo anything as far as energy compliance goes. All of the reflectors are interchangeable. So we have 3 basic distributions, a wide, a medium, and a narrow. The squares are all medium, and then the 3 basic sizes, a 4, a 6, and an 8. So you have your round wide, which also doubles as a shallow, your medium, your narrow is a bit taller, and then the squares. Standard finishes that you would also expect in this kind of space. So semi-specular haze, and then add a black or white painted flange to that. Then the fully specular clear, again, adding a paint flange, and then a matte white or matte black. And as I mentioned earlier, there are insertable wall washes for both the round and the square. And the mounting frames come as either in a basic flavor, nothing else there, but just a frame with a junction box built in. So if you want to pre-wire electrical into that. And then the quick connect, if you're looking to save on labor and speed up that time when fixtures show up on site, boom, that's your way to go. Now, of course, talking about it is one thing, right? But you have to experience it and see it for yourself to fully understand. So that's where I'm going to end sharing the presentation, and we're going to flip over to video now. So you can see we have the trims here. Here I am somewhere. And we're going to start with the basic sizes of these trims, right? So 4, 6, 8, in this case, squares. On the back side, they all terminate and come back to a round interface. And if you look at this, the 4, the 6, the 8, this is the same size. This is how we do the interchangeability. The mousetrap springs are on the trim itself, so that also allows the interchangeability, right? If it was on the housing, then we're committed to what's done on the housing. But in this case, because we did it all onto the trim, you can swap them up. Some other neat things about this interchangeability is if you thought it was 4 and it turned out to be 5, and you can expand it to 6, you can make that change on the fly. You don't even need to use a goof ring or an oversized ring to accommodate that, but we have those too. Okay, finishes. So we have the haze here, the specular clear, and I'm just going to hold them close to each other. A lot of times I get questions, what's the difference? You can see on that specular, right, you're getting 100% full reflectivity. Everything's going to come off of it. The haze has a bit more of a matte type finish that's going to just dial back some of that brightness. Okay, and then the matte white and the matte black. And then if you're looking to have that trim finished in either black or white in the specular or the haze, it's going to look something like this. And then I mentioned the distributions. So just looking at these 4-inch rounds, so a standard distribution or medium distribution, you can see the difference between that and the narrow. The narrow grows taller. That allows us to focus the beam a little bit better and make that narrow distribution. It's the opposite when you go to wide. It goes a lot more shallow. And this also doubles as a shallow. Just being more shallow, you're going to get a much wider, broader spread of light. I also mentioned the two wall wash style inserts. So here we have the round. These are both 4-inch, round and square. So these will just sort of fit inside, and you'll see how the square goes as well. I'll actually swap one of these out, right? So I'll show you how it's done. We have a diffuser sitting on the back of each one of these trims. This diffuser just kind of pops out. There's little tabs, and it will pop out. And now I can take this wall wash trim, and with just kind of enough force, it pops right in. It's in place, nice, secure. You get that nice snap. Now the best part is that is adjustable. You can see me spinning that. So you're not going to have to mess around or worry about obstructions up in the ceiling. It has mousetrap springs. You can move the whole trim around, but it is nice to just be able, even from below the ceiling, to be able to spin that wall wash trim around and direct the light exactly to the wall you want. It's the same setup for the square. I pop out the diffuser, I snap this in. I can't spin it, it's square. Okay, so you're gonna have to pick what side you want, but it'll go on any of the 4 sides, and then you do still have the ability to maneuver that trim around a little bit using the mousetrap springs. Okay, we move over to the housings. Here's our base housing. So we have the different housing styles. So that base driver and the LED heatsink and the actual LEDs on there. You can see kind of a variety of them, slightly different phosphors on there because of the multiple color temperatures that we're capable of doing. So I should probably add a reflector to this and build it up as a complete system. So you'll see there are kind of marks and pins here that will align with the mouse traps. And there is a go, no go poke-yoke device. There's a little tab that's sitting up. It's raised on this cast housing, and it matches with a slot on the reflector. So I just line them up. And it's a compression fit that you just snap into place. There's 3 of them per reflector. Complete system done. Super easy to put this together. I have a hole in the ceiling. This goes up through the hole. Put my mouse traps up and then onto the ceiling, and I'm done my install. And you can just leave it like that. We'll talk about mounting frames if you want to go that way. So one more level of sort of featuring is adding in this quick disconnect. So it's built into this enclosure. That's a 2-part enclosure that comes apart. And you can see that there are just sort of typical what we're used to, quick connects, right? Like a lot of fluorescent fixtures. This was code. It's the same kind of connectors. You just slide them together. But this can be installed in the electrical infrastructure up on a box somewhere by somebody with a license. This part is just, plugging in stuff and then snapping it together. This is like plugging in a toaster and snapping that box together. So anybody can come back and do this later. Great for where there's labor shortages and issues. Great for maintenance. It's a nice device. Then one more sort of featuring up is adding in the integral emergency. So here you see everything is pre-wired. I have an emergency driver on here with battery inside. It's just going to sit up in the ceiling just like the rest of it, or you can mount it on a mounting frame. It will come with, so this is both integrated test switch and indicator light. It has a little ring that will light up. It comes with this very attractive cover plate that would go onto a typical box, and you would just mount this into it and be done with it. And it probably is going to sit on the wall next to the fixture. Not to everybody's taste, maybe not the cleanest way to go, but straightforward, simple. If you do want to clean it up a little bit and hide this a bit better, right? So one of the trims I have here has a hole pre-punched in it for the integral emergency. So now instead of putting it into the trim, into the faceplate, you go directly into that trim, and it's fully integrated into the fixture. Super clean, keeps your ceiling nice and tidy. Still have that indicator light in there. It's a decision they can make on site. Again, it's something simple. If you install this and the customer doesn't like it, it's just a reflector change out. And you saw how easy this reflector is to do. swap it out, try it out, whatever makes sense on site. And then finally, we have our mounting frames. So I have a collection in round and square. Here's the basic mounting frame in a 4-inch. No other sort of infrastructure on the frame itself, except for these 2 thumb screws that would allow the mounting of the driver box. So you can either pre-install this or do it after the fact, right? You come up through the hole in the ceiling, and then that gives you a secure mounting point for that driver enclosure, and then whatever electrical you're going to add into it. All of the mounting frames have these thumb screws built into it, and the thumb screw is ideal because if you're reaching up through the hole, through the ceiling, right, you can just easily do that with one finger. You can get that. They all come with a collar built into them as well. So drywall, again, you're dealing with drywall or even grid ceilings. It's nice to have a collar there to do the zip, use a zip tool, cut this out, boom, the ceiling pops up into the space. You have travel on these side, the mounting arms that let you go up to 2 inches of additional ceiling depth. And then our mounting bars are fully adjustable. I mentioned they have the nail in them. They also have this bend over fold in them that will sit into the T-grid, so it'll just sort of snap right onto T-grid. So plain flavored or with an electrical junction box built into it, right? So you can bring in the power right into this box while you're setting up, while the ceiling's empty and open, and then it's pretty easy to do the rest of it. Or again, labor savings, especially after the fact, once the ceiling's enclosed, is to use the quick links. So again, power up, leave this here, order the fixture part with this quick connector. So you come up through the ceiling, just snap the quick connectors in, and then put the driver box in place, trim it up, you're all done. Last thing I want to show is just a complete fixture, fully powered up. I think that makes the most sense. See one of these things in action. So just close in on the, you can come in on, this is that where the selector switches are, so it is sort of behind a switch. And you can see the selectors there for both color temperature and lumen output. It snaps into place, the screw will lock it in. And if you're looking at the output, right, that cool color temperature, very cool. The gray looks very gray. As I warm it up, that orange and red really pop. Just depends on what you want to do into a space. And then light level wise, low, medium, high. And this is the 1500 to 2500. So that would be 1500 lumens, 2000, 2500. And of course, dimmable all the way down to 1%. Just a glow at 1%, right into the camera. So it's nice to have 1% into these spaces. You want to do a presentation in a boardroom. You know, you did a partnership with F1 and you want to show that video, you want to dim it down to 1%. That's it for me today.